feet hit the floor, you're alive. So now what? Well, let me give you a little morning motivational minute-ish. Life is long if you know how to use it. Seneca. Um, yeah. There's a lot of people say life's just short. Well, if you know how to use it, since I almost died in my bicycle accident 6 years ago, it was funny-ish, I think, because I was just talking to my girlfriend at the time, and I'm like, you know what? No regrets. I'm good. Having said that, yeah, there are things I wish I didn't do, but, at least I was going out doing something that I love. So I was always, dead set on that. And so now after the accident, I'm like, oh, guess what? I'm like, who says I'm going to grow up to be disabled? I'm like, it kind of makes things difficult. Well, depending on your, what should we say, deficits. That's what I got to where I say. But yeah, like walking is not easy for me. It's better if it's a level ground, but holes and bumps and stuff, I'm like, not that good. But you know what? I'm alive. And I'm thankful for that. So I like to pass it on to you. Hey, you're alive. What are you going to do? And I would like to, I guess this was a video I made in my third hospital. And it was crazy. It was basically a message back because Chelsea, my buddy, and Polly had tried to call me, and I had nurse in the room. But here you go. Let's see. Hopefully it'll come through.
Hey there, Chelsea and Polly. We're saying hi back to you. There's Mom. So, see, she says hi too. Sorry I couldn't answer. I had nurse in here. Hospitals are crazy. But we're thinking about you. Hope you have a great day. Alright? I'm calling you back. Talk to you all soon. Bye.
Gosh, I'm like, yep. Here I was so worried about my voice currently. I'm like, yeah, I was all frustrated and stuff, but then I saw that video and I'm like, all right, Obs, you've come a long way. Like, there are still some deficits, that is true, but I am thankful that I've gotten better-ish, Oh, and hey there, Jerry, good morning to you, sir. And, oh yeah, and let's talk about Stroke, his channel. He does amazing work, by the way. And I am so thankful that I connected with Jerry, even just like talking about strokes, which during my accident or something, I had 3. Crazy, but hey, I'm alive. But what I was going to say, oh yes, and I have come a long way. Thank you, Jerry. Yes, that is true. I'm very thankful for that. What I was going to say something and I forgot. Oh yeah, so I was talking to my buddy Tito yesterday, and talking, somehow ADHD came up, and I'm like, yeah, I have it. What? Isn't that crazy? There's been a lot of, saying those who have suffered a TBI tend to get ADHD, and other doctors like, no way. But basically a lot of the symptoms, I should say, or deficits are those of an ADHD person. And so I started thinking about it more and more and talking things through with my therapist, and I'm like, oh crap, I have ADHD, or at least ADD. I get distracted constantly. But I feel like it's awesome and somewhat mind-blowing, because when I was talking to Tito and I said, yeah, I just found out I have ADHD. What? She's like, oh girl, I could have told you that. Wait, how did you know? She was like, girl, you always had a million things going on. You were there, you were there, you were all over. I'm like, me? I'm like, I thought I was so boring and just boring, but yep, Tia says she even saw it way back 6 years ago. I'm like, wow. It's well, funny-ish to me because I'm like, I feel like I'm now discovering myself, if you will. I mean, number one, of course, thankful to be alive. And number two, I'm like, learning, okay, take what you have and let's work with it. So, knowing that I get distracted constantly, I need to write things down, which is why I keep my pen always right here. But also, thankfully, I have a Kindle now. Well, I've always had one. But anyways, to read. So, and I'm going on and on. So I will just say thanks so much for joining in. And remember, you matter, your story matters, and you belong here. Cheers, y'all.